Hi guys, I'm Ella from Bands and Fans, and I'm here with Berkeley Band. Would you like to all introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Will and I play synth.
My name is Tyler, I play bass.
My name's Ollie, I play guitar and sing.
My name is Alex, I play lead guitar.
My name's Ismar and I play percussion.
Lovely.
Amazing introductions, thank you. So obviously you guys have your gig on today, so how are you guys feeling? Are you guys anxious? Like, what's the feels right now?
I was feeling anxious, but now it's converted into excitement, and I think it's a very loving crowd, friends and family, and there's nothing to fear, because
Unless you make a mistake.
Daddy's
it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I agree with Will. I'm super keen. I am buzzing.
I'm pumped. Pumped for the after party as well, I might add. It's a big part.
That won't be televised.
I'll pass that one.
Unless
I'm sleepy.
you're sleepy.
Um,
No goes time.
I'm a bit nervous. My palms are sweaty. My knees weak and my arms are heavy. But yeah, very it took us some time to get really tight before this one, I reckon. And it was very stressful, but I think we're good now.
In like a couple of hours we'll know.
I think Ollie just came back from his holiday in Japan and Philippines, so we've been trying to really cram in our covers and kind of get a lot more tight before this gig in a short amount of time.
Thanks.
Thank you. And with gigs, what's been so far your best and your worst gig so far? I know it might be a bit hard, but spill it.
I don't have much to add on that front, because
The
I've...
one that you couldn't
Oh, that's true, actually. My first gig ever, I didn't actually get to play because we had an issue with the PowerPoint, as in like a physical outlet, so it didn't work.
What was your favourite gig?
My favourite gig was the one where I did play, probably the Gasso. The Gasso was a lovely gig. No, it's pretty easy to impress.
Yeah, I would say my favorite gig has been the Workers Club that we did with Secondhand High. My worst gig, I don't really know. Maybe the Evelyn, just because I was very shook when Will's keyboard wasn't working. I was like, fuck.
See, I'm like shook because Revs was so fun, but it was also like a bit of a disaster. But I think favorite would have to be probably the Works Club as well. It was really good, like or some of the old ones. But yeah.
Well, definitely the worst one for me was the Revs gig. That was actually in my first ever gig. I had my string break. They gave me a guitar could barely reach, and kept going out of tune. The amp started fucking up. Like everything was wrong with that gig, but it was still better than our Revs gig because our Revs gig was really fun, but it was just we couldn't hear anything on stage, and it was just very demoralizing. And best gig for me was probably Dirty Gwen at Yaya's. That was like such a fun gig. Like there's an awesome crowd. Everyone was really getting around it, and yeah, I really enjoyed that gig.
The best gig for me was probably the most recent Old Bar one we did. We sounded very great there. There was one gig where Alex tripped over something. Or was it you or was it Tyler?
I tripped over Tyler's bass.
Yeah, and then the bass amp fell, and I think that was our worst gig. But
Was
it really? Was that?
That was Alex basically in the middle of us playing went off stage to get a new guitar, and he was so excited to come back on that he sprinted on stage, knocked over a lead, and fully pulled an amp off stage, and it smacked against the ground.
It wasn't even our amp.
And like I was trying to be on damage control, but like I was like, well, yeah. We've definitely had some drama.
I've literally never heard of anything like that happening to any band I've interviewed before. All of them are just like, yeah, like most of our gigs have gone pretty well, we've been enjoying it.
We've had some horrible ones.
But I feel like it's a pattern for everyone to enjoy the Workers Club gigs. Every band I've like asked about like what's their favourite, they were like, yeah, the Workers Club. Also, seeing that you guys were performing at the Revs, I'm just like immediately seeing that, I'm like, that would have been fucking insane. Like, I don't know how that would be. Like, I'd be like...
It was weird being there in the daytime.
Yeah, exactly. Like, being there in day, that's so weird.
Smell. Yeah, every surface is sticky.
Very sticky.
Crazy.
But still great venue.
Yeah, love it.
Amazing.
The cage is awesome. Like,
What cage?
the cage on stage. Like you're
He's got a cage around it.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Okay. Secondly, how do you guys prepare for a gig? So what have you guys been doing throughout the day? You know.
It differs gig to gig. It wasn't preferable, but I was working today, so that was a little fatiguing. But I do a wind down, do some meditating, go home and just be present, and know that everything is there, nothing is missing, and we're all loved no matter what we do, and it's not a life or death scenario. We're not going to be burnt at the stake if we made a mistake.
Following that up,
I just have a couple beers and
I don't know. I mean, it definitely differs. I generally stress about ticket sales for about 4 hours, and then I try and like get everyone together. I think it's generally the hardest thing is everyone just like goes missing when you're at the venue, and then you're trying to find everyone, and then someone's getting a kebab, and then like it's just crazy stuff.
Yeah. For me, it's always, I get, pretty anxious for a gig and I get really tired. So before I hop on stage, I always have one no-dose. Yeah, one no-dose. That really kicks me out of that slumber and it feels great. But yeah, besides that, it's basically just no-dose every gig and I'm becoming kind of reliant on it.
Down the barrel.
Which
no-dose.
Yeah, no-dose. Sponsor us.
What do I do before a gig? If I get very nervous, which I don't think I've ever told any of you guys. If I get very nervous, I go like into a secluded area, and I like to watch people play drum solos.
Really?
Yeah. I watch Ginger Baker and stuff.
Yeah.
Can I say what you do?
And then if I don't feel super anxious, I like to just bounce off the walls and energize it. Yeah, I move around it.
You
Yeah.
can generally hear him from a 50 mile distance.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Okay, so speaking of beers, what's your go-to pre-drink for gigs or anything?
Well, sorry to disappoint, but I don't really like to drink before a gig. But
I've seen you drink a beer before a gig.
no, I haven't had a beer before a gig.
Is that after the gig?
After the gig, I think
Well, after as well.
after the gig, I think that's the celebratory beer. That's the one that really quenches your thirst. Prior, no, I don't like to mix it with the nerves. So that's my answer. The beer it would be a LD Leo beer.
yeah.
And next in line is the Storm beer, but from New Zealand.
I don't know. I usually just get what's cheapest.
Got a free beer today.
I got a free beer
Thanks,
today
Kindred.
because I was looking good.
Is that the reason?
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I usually just have a beer on stage as well for the look, and that's it. No, what beer?
Yeah, what beer?
I said the cheapest.
Oh,
yeah.
true. Love a good Carlton draft. We did the VBs at Workers were pretty good though.
Oh,
Yeah.
So we have that.
The Moondog Lager is a bit stinky.
Yeah, I do not like Moondog Lager. I love the brand, but that beer is not great. Yeah, I think Tyler's right. The cheapest.
For me,
It's your turn.
maximum 2 beers for a gig, or else I can't play my instrument. Even though it does help with the nerves, I think it's very important that I don't go over 2 because I'm the biggest lightweight ever, and if I have 3 beers, I'll be playing the most sloppy performance ever. And then after, yeah, it's just the cheapest really, but it's a great tasting beer.
I like to hydrate myself with a Red Bull before I get on. That's always nice. And then once all my electrolytes have left my body while playing drums, I like to rehydrate with a nice cup of cold water.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We didn't mention all the cocaine.
Oh yeah, next question, pre-drug. nah, guys, I can't be posting that. Okay, question, how did you guys all meet?
Oh,
Tell the story.
okay.
What were we doing?
It's going to take a while. So I met Oliver at a Halloween party that a friend that I met at a club invited me to. And Oliver was dressed alongside his girlfriend and his cousin as the Wiggles. And they had a 4th member, that went on a whole
She went on a 7 Uber trip.
and eventually got home, I think. But so I just met the three of them, got along really well, and then you invited me to your 20th.
Yep.
Came to that, found a kid's bike on the side of the road and made a real journey of it out. Yeah, stole a poor child's bike, kicked him off it and rode it from Yarraville Station and got there in the end. And I think that somehow elevated me in your mind and invited me to a few more things.
Yeah, I was pretty sure.
And then we just started jamming, and you said, "Do you want to play synth?" And I said yes. And that's how that's where we are.
So I went to high school with Alex. Before that, so Alex joined the band at the start of this year. I was mates with Alex, but I actually saw Berkeley for the first time like start of last year.
Yeah, fire.
At the Gasso.
Yeah.
That's something else to say. Fuck.
It'll come back to you.
On the way back.
Alex just wouldn't leave me alone for like an hour and a half at the 21st that I met him at. He was just, really, he undersold himself, but his friends did not.
That's good friends right there.
And then, Will told the story. I'd met Tyler at the Gasso. And then Ismar popped up on Facebook.
Did you?
Yeah. Sent him a cheeky message, gave him a phone call, and that was that. Yeah.
I was harassing Ollie at a party. That's kind of how I got the gig here. But I feel like we're quite a new ensemble. This is Will's third gig. Third gig.
You've been here for a while.
This is Tyler's 10th. Yeah, I think this is my 18th or something. Yeah. But we're all have fully, been able to click now as a band. Because what happened basically is I came in. I had a show to learn all the songs for. And I think it was like a week or two. Same thing happened to Ismar. Same thing happened to Tyler. Same thing happened to Will. We all kind of got thrown in the deep end. But then,
I like to put you under pressure.
Yeah. The pressure makes diamonds. But I think like the having that pressure kind of put us in a situation where we got to mold really quickly, and now we're a lot better as a clique. I feel like.
Yeah, I used to play in a different band, and that we dismembered sometime last year, I think. And then I played in two. I didn't really play in two other bands. I jammed with two other bands, and that was awful. It was really upsetting. And then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna give this one last crack. So I throw my ad up on Melbourne musicians page on Facebook. And then and then literally, I think like it was maybe like a week later, after I forgot about it, Ollie gets back to me. Then I was so like excited about it. So I stalked Ollie on the I stalked him because he had the Berkeley band thing on the bio. So I stalked Ollie, got the Berkeley band, went on the Berkeley band page, then went on the Spotify, and then I learned all the songs. Like 2 days after Ollie. I learned two songs. The two songs that were on there, like 2 days after Ollie talked to me. And then
I called you up and was like, "Hey, we got this gig. Like, if you can learn all these songs, made you a playlist." And then he legit came and rehearsed and just like no questions asked, just like did all of them. And I was like, "Yeah, it's the guy." But yeah, sorry.
I remember when I got the phone call to join Berkeley. It was after I think you guys had a gig on like it was the Battle of the Bands, I think. And Alex calls me up and he's like, "Hey, bro, would you play bass?" And I'm like, I've never played bass before, so I was like,
Alex knew like
as long as you understand that I can't play bass, I'll be in the band. And it's fine, and it's worked out fantastically, swimmingly.
You guys have literally all had like separate meeting stories. It's so like your meeting like is so weird. Like
we actually are all very randomly connected. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's like better though. It's kind of like it was kind of like meant to be. Oh my God, I need to stop saying like. I'm saying it so many times. Anyway, what's the reason behind the band name? Who created the band name?
Take that one.
You got a tattoo with it, and then you saw it.
Yeah, I actually wish I had something cool to say. I will make up a story one day. Okay, the thing is, like, when I started this band in high school, it was with a couple other guys, and it was just the name they came up with was so bad. Him. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't include. I didn't make it. Yeah. It was called As Guilty as Can Be with an exclamation mark.
Wow.
But then, yeah, I know it's horrible. And then like we actually got a gig.
Wait, did it have an exclamation mark?
Yeah, exclamation mark. And like we actually got a gig. And then the guy that came up with the name, he like wasn't even in the band anymore. And I was like, we like simply cannot put that on a poster. And I don't even know. I was just watching like a documentary, and then Berkeley is apparently a really cool place and lots of music there. We actually got offered a gig, funnily enough, to raise money for a wind farm. And we were like, that's cool. We'll do that. Yeah. And then they're like, yeah, and they sent us all the details. And it was in Berkeley, in America. So we couldn't do that. Yeah. But yeah, nothing. We have nothing interesting about that one, unfortunately.
That old band name is literally giving like something you'll see on an ad. What the hell?
I know, like seriously.
That is just like such like a weird band name.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least you got this name now. That's much better. Much better, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was struggling to spell it on the gig guide. I was like, fuck hell.
Whenever like people go, I can't find your guys' Instagram, and I go,
Yeah, you're just like, yep, right there. Right there. Hey, if you guys like weren't in like a band or doing music, what would you guys be doing?
Sure, say our normal jobs.
You may as well.
Will's got the coolest job, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah, I mean, say it.
I work at the museum, and part of that entails putting up the exhibits that come from overseas, and I'm also a filmmaker. Wow. So that's nothing gets put aside in favor of this. This is just a complement to my life as it is already. So if I wasn't doing this, I'd still be going about my normal habits.
Yeah, pretty much same. But I'd love to work in a zoo or something, like a safari guide or some shit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I study like music management, so I've been working as a booking agent. But yeah, hopefully. I mean, this is so much fun that like we have played so many gigs recently that it's actually been a big part of all of our lives. Yeah. So plug the business.
I have a little tutoring company, www.tutoringvictoria.com.au. If you need a high school tutor or you want to be a tutor, if you're a general math tutor from the Moonee Ponds area, please sign up. Yeah. And I'm studying engineering.
As my daytime job, I work as a carpenter. But I feel like if I didn't have music as a hobby, well, I don't really see it as a hobby, but if I didn't do music, I'd probably do like furniture making, or like a lumberjacking or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you in a
You know what I mean?
flannel and
Yeah.
an axe.
Yeah.
I feel like we're answering these questions really long.
Yeah, is this too long?
No, it's totally fine. Literally go for as long as you want. Like, I'll sit there editing. It's fine, guys.
More jobs for you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on holiday, like living. So we're just gonna be doing this, guys. So that's fine. How did you guys all get into music? Like, was it like something that you were kind of brought up to get into? Like, were you taught or something, or your own journeys?
Like most people, music's always been enthralled in my life, but I've never been very technically proficient, just passionate about it. Always had high-flung fantasies and wants.
PR trained for these questions.
And no, I love music, and I think it's a skill that you build. Sometimes it's inherent, and sometimes, most of the time, it comes from the soul. But what was the question?
How did you get into music?
How did I get into music? I think I was born into a world of music. It was purely accidental. Like music can't be pulled from the fabrics of society. It's enmeshed, honestly.
Society.
How did you get into music?
Yeah. Society. Beer. Nah. My dad probably, like listening to like Johnny Cash, Chili Peppers. Oasis, and it wasn't until when I was like 17 when I started writing songs and actually like was really inspired to like get a move on with that stuff. Yeah.
I was good at nothing else, and then I moved to Geelong, and you either have to play music, surf, or skate, and I couldn't skateboard, and I nearly drowned, so I played guitar, and then that was sort of the only thing that I was good at, so did that, and it's got me this far.
Yeah, my dad played in a band when he was my age called the Sometimes.
Stop plugging everything.
Check them out. Check them out on Spotify. No, they're not on Spotify. But yeah, so he played guitar in that band as well, and it kind of. I played drums when I was in primary school, and then when I turned, I think I was in year 11. I just picked up one of his guitars and I started playing, and then it just kind of turned into almost an obsession, just like having a guitar next to your bed and you just keep picking it up, keep picking up. And that's like the best natural way I feel like to get into music, because forcing yourself to play instruments can get really hard to keep that motivation. And I think if it comes naturally, you're way more kind of bound to actually learning it properly.
I've got a long answer. Should I do a long answer or short answer?
I like drums.
Alright, I like drums. Well, same kind of with a couple of the other boys. My dad was a bit of a hippie back in the 70s, and he got me into. I think the first thing he showed me was Carlos Santana, and then he showed me lots of like ex-Yugoslav bands, and a bit of Led Zeppelin and stuff. And then I got into guitar through listening to that. And then I realized I had a talent for time. And then I saw one of my friends play drums. And then I'm like, can I sit on your drum set? And he's like, yeah. And then I just started playing what he was playing. So that's when I kind of knew I had a thing for it. Then, yeah, over COVID, I bought a nice set. And I just played every day. Yeah.
You wrote the Stairway to Heaven drums.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's right.
COVID was a very big time for learning your instrument. Like, you're stuck in your house and you have nothing better to do besides learn your instrument or do school or something.
I was in the regional.
Oh, that's cap. Because in 2020 lockdown, I got an acoustic guitar. I couldn't play guitar, and it was like another 3 years until I learnt to play guitar, because the acoustic guitar was from JB Hi-Fi. That's probably that's probably the reason.
That didn't happen.
It was a lie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I also tried learning an instrument during like 2020 times. Literally like got a keyboard because my auntie used to play it, and she's like, oh, do you want it? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I tried, and I was like, learned the first few chords of Bohemian Rhapsody, and I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I'm like, I can't. I was like, let's try it, and then I failed. But like, that's fine, guys, because we're here now. Decided to go the business way, I guess. Okay, so what bands or artists do you guys admire that are Australian, I guess? Or like, you know what, in general? I feel like that's a bit hard.
I think the biggest contribution to Australian music in recent history has been the Parcels. They are a superb band. They are so tight. Part of my heart is reserved to them. I think they're the strongest link of Australia at the moment. Like they had to unfortunately go overseas to find success, because in a way, I don't think we're worthy of them. And no, they're superb musicians. They're lovely boys from up in Byron, and yes, that's an Australian band that I'm proud to say are Australian.
Yeah. Like Babe Rainbow, I really love, but also the Vines. I got into the Vines. Is that like? No, that's the Hives.
Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, the Vines, they're Aussie, and yeah, some of their music I hear it, I'm like, holy shit, this is like some proper 90s like rock and roll shit. But yeah, their albums were like, at least the earliest one was like 2002, but they have one from 2014 that is like insanely good. Yeah, the Vines, Ocean Alley, so on and so forth.
Yeah, like all those
Confidence, man.
indie bands like Grogans and stuff and Skeggs and but I think I've been loving Royal Lotus. I think they're now pretty international. Yeah.
I actually don't know too many Australian bands. I'm more listening. Unfortunately, I listen to very virgin music. Yeah, Peach Fuzz. We love Peach Fuzz. Wet Denim, also a really great Australian
Zealand.
bands. They're from New Zealand, actually. True.
Alright, pass it on.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
As far as it goes for Australian bands, I think my top tier would be The Chats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Bit of
good music.
punk.
Yeah. Bit of punk. People of Floyd too. Yeah.
Shout out People of Floyd.
Thank you. Do you guys struggle to balance time in the studio and out of it? Like, I know it's different with everyone, I guess, but
I'll wrap it up. We struggle to get in the studio. That's probably we don't even need to answer that. That's it.
Do you want to say that again? Just so
We struggle to get in the studio. It's very expensive. Yeah, that probably wraps it up. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that one.
what's your creative process like? So I know you just said that you're not really in the studio often, but you know.
Songs come up differently, but like one of us comes in with an idea and then everyone either hates it or sometimes it gets hated and then it comes all the way back. But I don't know, like some of our newer songs, just like I might come in with an idea and then everyone makes their own part and then we try it and that's sort of it. I don't know, bit of fun. It all comes from the bedroom, I think. Oh yeah.
Like our song TV Boy was like something that Ollie thought of and then brought into the studio, but then we have songs like Be Alright where it was just Ismar was like, oh, I have this cool drum beat, and I was like, oh, I could play this riff, and I was like, oh, I have these lyrics, and then that got formed in like 30 minutes. That song. So there are definitely different creative processes that we take, but I think ultimately the majority comes out from bringing in external ideas into the studio and then working on them.
What's your guys' dream venue? I know for a lot of Melbourne-based artists, it's the Forum, but you know, might be something else. I don't know if it is the Forum. That's completely fine.
I'll go to you first.
Kindred Studios.
I'd say it would be Kindred or the Northcote Social Club.
Well, I have no clue.
Yeah.
The MCG. Yeah, the Leadbeater.
Revs was as well. Revs.
Actually, no, Revs would have been my dream venue. Like,
We've played a lot of the venues.
but we kind of luckily got a gig. Oh, not luckily, I don't know. But one of my first headliner was at Revs, so I kind of ticked that thing off the list.
I don't really have an answer. I think
Kindred.
Kindred. Yeah, Kindred. Yeah, that's it.
I think the Forum's a lovely space.
The Forum is a really nice venue. I know you were joking about the MCG, but I've literally had someone say I would die to perform at the MCG, and they were like, I want it sold out, everyone in the G.
I think that'd be awful. I think that'd be absolutely awful. Just me.
That'd be insane.
The sound would be.
That would be so crazy. I feel like the audio would be so weird there. I don't know. I know Taylor Swift did it there and like seems to have gone fine, obviously.
Yeah. Taylor Swift's got some money behind her, though. I think.
Fart into the microphone.
She's got some audio behind her.
She could literally like sacrifice someone on stage, and I think then like it'd be like everyone cheering, be like yes.
We did like 20 seconds of the Taylor Swift song, and people went crazy.
Yeah. Well, people being my girlfriend.
Yeah, Alex's girlfriend.
No, that's
So obviously you guys are independent. Would you guys ever sign to a label or a management?
Play hard to get. No.
Fuck the industry.
Nah, we would. Obviously, I think I'm lucky studying music that I wouldn't let us get fleeced. So I think we would, like, if the right thing came around.
Yeah, I study entertainment management. So yeah, so listening to. I mean, if you guys ever need a manager, I'm here, y'all. But like learning about a lot of stuff, it's like you're kind of like, damn, like a lot of bands kind of get like fucked with, and like even like talking to a few bands, like they've been like, yeah, like not gonna lie, like the times that we've signed with people, they've been a bit like, like they didn't really do anything for us, and like even the last band I interviewed, that were just like all they told us to do were make TikToks, and I was like,
we've been approached by like PR companies, and it's just never ever a good deal. Like you go into it and they just feed you what you want to hear, and like it's just never a good deal.
I feel like they're more like have been like even more like stuffing everyone around recently, especially like we're learning about it in like class, but especially with like Taylor Swift's whole case. I'm bringing her up again. I don't know why, but with her whole case with like her rights over her music, they're trying to make it so that like people don't ask for their rights back. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm like, that's a bit weird, but okay. A bit of a low-key controversial question, I guess. If you guys get in arguments, how do you deal with it?
So
Alex doesn't feel aggression ever.
last night, because things get a bit tense in the when we're so pressed for time, that I think if a predicament goes down where someone's like frustrated or stressed, it can I think it's important for them to try like settle and keep everyone, because the more stress you get, the more stress the band gets, and then the whole thing goes down. So I think keeping a very level head, and even if things can go wrong, it's really important to just try obviously work hard and practice it, but it's all about keeping a level head, I feel like, and getting angry, like even though like no one ever really gets angry, it's just like I think it's really important just to keep us at that nice level.
I feel like you got to have a little bit of like thick skin if it comes to like if you have an idea or whatever, and then no one likes the idea, and then I feel like in a band, everyone should be comfortable enough to tell each other that they don't like the ideas, and for no one to get like butthurt over it. So like you got to be,
So obviously with tonight, you guys are performing. What song? I know you have a few, but what song are you guys each like most excited to perform?
I'm excited to play TV Boy.
I'm excited to play Reptilia.
Good luck, babe.
Space Song.
I'm excited to play Suits.
Yeah, true.
Suits.
Yeah, you do too, man.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
Do you guys do anything to ensure that you guys keep growing as musicians?
Keep bringing new people in the band. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Nourish the soul.
Yeah.
Listen to new music, I think.
Yeah. For me, I think it's important to always try expand your music, knowledge and physical ability as much as you can. But don't force yourself to do it. Do it when you want to. Pick your guitar up from next to your bed. Hop on your drum kit. Play your synth. Just like when you want to, not when you have to.
Yeah, I feel like a big part of it's being inspired by something. So whatever, I guess, inspires you to do something, that's how you do it.
And out of your guys' songs, what ones mean the most to you and why?
It's Rowan.
I think TV Boy, our newest songs. Hey Rowan. Oh, Rowan's overseas. We're in an interview, Rowan.
We need to go. We're in an interview. Hi, Rowan. Call me back. Sorry.
It's okay. So last two questions. Any advice to artists out there? And do you guys have anything to say to your fans?
Fans?
Oh, it's an artist. You literally just got to play. Just play music with each other. Play music with anyone.
Yeah.
Our fans. There's some at Revs.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Might be something nice.
Come to the show.
Yeah.
Come to the after party.
I got told this by a musician, and I can't remember who it was. And I was saying this last night, but you just gotta enjoy it. If you go on stage and you're there and you're pazzing so much, then you're gonna play worse. If you go up on stage wanting to have fun, wanting to enjoy it, and just if you mess up, everything's okay. It took me so long to actually understand that, but now that, because I used to get very anxious during shows and before shows, that I think it's just very important just to just actually try and enjoy your set. Don't be like, I can't wait for this to be over. Just be like, I'm ready to play and I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Thanks for having us.
Do you guys have anything you have to promote or not? Do you want to shout out anything?
We got lots of gigs on the socials, so just check out our socials.
At Berkeley Band.
Berkeley.
Maybe I'll give
2 more
them a-
followers to 1,000.
BERCK.
There you go, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks so much for doing this. Enjoy the gig. Bye.